The majority of Italian verbs use avere as auxiliary. Other verbs use essere. What is the best way to know which one to use? Learn when to use essere, and for the rest of the other verbs, use avere. So, essere is used to form the compound tenses of itself. Now we concentrate on the passato prossimo. We don't really take in consideration other tenses, just the passato prossimo. So, essere is used to form the passato prossimo of essere. Let's take the sentence Maria has been good. Has been is the present perfect of the verb to be, so the Italian equivalent is the passato prossimo of essere. In order to form the passato prossimo of essere, you need essere as the auxiliary verb, so the first verb of the passato prossimo, and you need essere to form the past participle, the second verb of the passato prossimo. So the sentence Maria has been good, you need first the verb the present tense of essere, because Maria equals she, and then you need the past participle of essere, that is stato. Now, since Maria is a feminine subject, and the past participle of the verbs formed with essere must agree in gender and number with the subject, you must transform stato in stata. Result, Maria è stata brava. The auxiliary essere is also used to form the passato prossimo of most intransitive verbs. These are those verbs that can be followed by a direct object, the object that answers the question who or what. We talked about this topic when we spoke about the direct object pronouns. For example, if I say, I went, you can ask me where, when, with who, but not who or what. For this reason, the verb to go in Italian, andare, is an intransitive verb. On the contrary, if I say I saw, you can ask what or who, che cosa or chi, and for this reason, the verb to see in Italian, vedere, is a transitive verb. So, andare, to go, requires the auxiliary essere. So I went is io sono andato. While vedere, that is a transitive verb, requires the auxiliary avere. I saw, io ho visto. Every time you can ask that question, what or who, you are dealing with a transitive verb. If you can't, with an intransitive one. Let me give you two more examples. Io mangio. Can you ask what or who? Sure. Io mangio. Che cosa? La pizza, gli spaghetti, il gelato. All of them answer the question what. So, when you need to form the passato prossimo of mangiare, I ate, you need avere as auxiliary. Io ho mangiato. Another example. Io parto. I leave. Can you ask what or who, che cosa o chi? No, you can't. You can ask when, quando, wherefore, dove, with who, con chi, but not che cosa o chi. So, partire, is an intransitive verb, and when you need to form the passato prossimo, I left, of partire, you need essere as auxiliary. So, io sono partito. Maybe the best thing is to memorize the most common intransitive verbs, so you do not need to ask yourself every time if a verb is transitive or not. The majority of the intransitive verbs involve movement. Andare, to go, partire, to leave, or inactivity, stare, to stay, rimanere, to remain, or transformation in state of being, crescere, to grow, morire, to die, cambiare, to change, appearance, sembrare, to seem, to look like, and events, succedere, to happen. All these verbs are intransitive, so they require essere as auxiliary. The verb essere is also used with all reflexive verbs and the verb piacere. But we will talk about the passato prossimo of reflexive verbs and the verb piacere in the next lecture.